So it's day 48 and we're in the jungles of Skull Island. Not particularly spectacular on set. This is like a kit set jungle, a build your own jungle. But of course the real jungle is going to be appearing in the blue screen. That's where all the spectacular stuff is. And you'll have a look at those little orange markers on the blue screen. They're critical to the process.
Right, well that's because there are holes in the screen and they're just to cover them and I couldn't find any blue gaffer tape.
Well, actually they're not dots, they're squares. It's to keep a guy named Malcolm Angel employed.
Tracking markers. What we're doing is creating a virtual camera which mimics the movement of the real camera, and we use that for any computer-generated portions of the shot.
So with the computers tracking the camera movement, the combination of miniatures and real footage is going to be used to create the jungles. Jeremy Bennett and Gus Hunter, two of our conceptual artists, have been working for well over a year on creating looks for our Skull Island jungles.
Once the artwork's approved, it goes to either art department to build the set, or it then goes down to ultimately miniatures, who will produce the sort of mid-ground elements and sometimes the background elements before you hit the digital matte painting in the deep distance. The beauty of working in Photoshop here using photographic elements is that the amount of information we can convey in the paintings proves to be very, very helpful to Alex Funke.
When we start, the production illustration just gives us the basics, how big things are, where they are, what kind of trees there are, things of that kind. But it also contains all the details that Peter has seen and has developed maybe over a number of paintings, things that he really wants to see. The beam of light coming through here, the fact that the distant trees are gradually fading out into the smoke, how much smoke you see here compared to how much smoke you see here, what kind of plants are growing on this little rocky section. All these things we can get just from looking at this painting.
One thing with conceptual art is that often the art looks amazing, but you can never actually recreate it on film. So I was very determined that our conceptual designs for our jungle were actually achievable, because, you know, I didn't want art that got us all excited and then we couldn't actually get that look on film. So earlier this year we instigated a series of tests where we took the art that Jeremy and Gus have done and we really tried to recreate the look of the jungles on 35mm film.
There's the painting of the log that we're working from. Here's the real log. Very, very small, 20th scale. So what we had to do after the live action was shot of these guys walking over the sandbags was to match the contours of that ramp to the contours of this 20th scale miniature log. So all these little ups and downs are actually little ups and downs in the sandbag pile. Now there's a lot of other layers. If you look over the back there, this is not the actual relationship. There's another piece, that's a mid-ground piece. It's a bit of tree, it's this piece right here. That's coming down there. So we actually shot this in a series of layers. The reason being, we want to put different amounts of smoke in it to make it look like it's getting further and further away. So it's a very evolutionary process and a very exciting one.
Once each piece is shot, then that is scanned in digital and handed over to the compositor. What we're essentially doing is trying to build all those layers and try and recreate Jeremy and Gus's vision as close as possible.
So we actually have quite evocative test shots that won't be in the movie, but they certainly represent the type of shots that we're looking to achieve in the finished film.